because Hollywood boycotted the state. In Wilmington, here's CNBC's Jane Wells.
One of America's top movies, Halloween Kills, takes place in Haddonfield, Illinois, while the new Fox drama, Our Kind of People,
We're going in hot.
is on Martha's Vineyard. But not really.
Hey, Mark.
Both are actually filmed in Wilmington, North Carolina, a town so busy with the Hollywood streaming wars, some call it Wilmywood.
I lived in California for 25 years. I had enough of that. I'm so glad to be back in North Carolina.
One of the things about North Carolina is you go 3 or 4 hours, you're in the mountains, and 3 or 4 hours the other direction, you're here at this beautiful stretch of beaches.
Wilmington has long been a Hollywood backdrop, but 2021 is a record year with $300 million in film business. It's a boost for locals like vintage clothing store owner Jess James, whose shop is being taken over for a shoot.
We've definitely had costume departments come from TV and movies to do some shopping, but this is the first time we've ever been scouted.
It's a big change from a few years ago when a previous North Carolina governor ended film subsidies, and then a transgender bathroom ban led to a boycott by Hollywood.
All the pictures that were coming here went either to Canada, and then all of a sudden we lost a lot of films to Georgia too.
Jonas Pate created the Netflix hit Outer Banks, but he had to shoot in South Carolina during the boycott. He worked hard and helped to successfully overturn the bathroom law and bring back incentives.
I mean, if we have incentives, we have work. If we don't have incentives, we don't. And it's pretty much that simple.
Action.
There is so much content being created here and, well, everywhere, really. It's boffo box office for local caterers. But as production spreads, hanging over everything is the tragedy last week in Santa Fe on the set of Rust.
Anytime anything happens, everyone, I think, quite healthily stops and says, why do we need to do it? What do we need? Is there anything in this that could be dangerous, even though we're not using any live guns? And there's a movement now to make there not be any live, real guns on sets, and why not?
But the show must go on, perhaps without live guns, as the entertainment appetite from streaming services has Hollywood working from sea to shining sea.
When there was a dip in production, a lot of veteran crew people left. They moved to places like Georgia, and it has been a little bit of a challenge to get the band back together. There's even one report they've had trouble getting enough extras. So if you want your big break, maybe you don't need to go to Hollywood, Shep. Come to Wilmywood.
Jane, I know you've been talking to a lot of producers in Wilmington. What's the sense from them about the tragedy on the Rust set?